Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video, here women are sharing their experiences on how they lost their men or their guys to red pill content. They lost their partners, their spouses due to red pill content. For example, we know that this red pill content is actually telling guys the opposite about women. Most of these red pill content guys, they really hate women, and most of them are actually gays, not even gay alone. In general, they just don't like women. Their values are just against women. So let's go straight into this video and find out what these women are sharing on how they lost their men or their guys due to red pill content.
Do men realise that misogyny and red pill content isn't saving them from the lonely male epidemic? In fact, it's perpetuating it. I'm back at it again with another instalment of Zaneology. So I was scrolling through Twitter the other day and Tony Tone dropped a video clip from, I think it's Mad Clips on TikTok. I'll roll the clip.
I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did, and it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved. Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt...
Congratulations, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable. And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat him?
Now, I found this clip really interesting and it had me thinking about something that I've been mulling over for quite some time. I watched Adolescence and I remember all the discourse that happened and I did want to talk about it. I did want to bring my perspective. Normally, I find it quite easy to say how I feel and the message normally lands. But for this one, I really had to sit and think. I'll be very honest. First of all, I didn't realize just how much access young people have to the content that we share on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, and etc. I remember watching Adolescence and thinking to myself, if this content can impact me and make me look at the male demographic differently, misogynist content and misandry content, both alike, hating men, hating women, can 100% radicalize our youth because they don't have actual real experiences of the world. They have what we feed them. And then a thought crossed my mind. Red pill content, misogynistic content isn't saving them from the lonely male epidemic. It's perpetuating it. What is red pill content telling you? Red pill content is telling you that you, an average man, cannot have access to women. It's telling you women are not worth anything. You should just have them to sleep with. And if a woman doesn't submit to you, then she's not worth your time. It's telling you that only the men that have a lot of money, that have access to wealth, can get pum-pum. Basically, that's what it's telling you. As a result, what do you internalize?
Red pill content is actually misleading a lot of men. First of all, women are also created in the image of God. They are not sex objects. They are not to be mistreated. This is where a lot of guys go wrong. They don't value women at all. For example, you've seen that this guy is also telling us that red pill content showed him or actually misled him by telling him that he is supposed to be sleeping around with almost every woman. He's supposed to be dating almost every woman. And he was actually misguided. And at the end of the day, at the end of the channel, he actually saw the other right door, whereby he is actually telling the other fellow men that red pill content actually was misguiding or actually misleading him.
You internalize the fact that you are an average man, even though you probably aren't. Before you started consuming this content, you may not have been the type of guy who saw women in that way. But because that's the content you're consuming, now all of a sudden, all women are the enemy, when you didn't grow up thinking that way. You may have been hurt by someone before, but you haven't always believed that women are wicked and bad. And this goes for women as well, because I was never part of the men are trash, men ain't shit, men are dusties, can't stand them. I was never part of that club because I touched grass and I was like, you know what? Yes, online we're seeing a lot of negative conversations about these things. But in reality, I've seen good examples, I've seen bad examples. I was raised by a good example. So yeah, not all men are trash, but some of them are. And yeah, not all women are gold diggers. Some of them are. The more I was seeing content where men were talking shit about women in my demographic, women like me, the more I started thinking, do I want to date these guys? Actually, maybe being single is the best way to go, because if they all think like that, I want no parts of it. Isn't that the start of being radicalized? That's how women like me end up becoming men are trash women. That's how women like me become all men are dusties women. When you overconsume any content that makes you a victim to somebody else or a group, you will become radicalized in some shape or form. Now, this isn't the case for everyone. Some people have had some real unfortunate, unlucky experiences of the demographic they just happen to be sexually attracted to. I'm saying all of this to say, we shouldn't be surprised that red pill content, misogynist content has radicalized the young men, because it's radicalized older men and it's also impacted women. It's made women say, I want no parts of men. I don't want anything to do with them. And the extreme, it's turned some women into misandrists. And then it becomes a never-ending cycle. All of us are isolated. I cannot sit here and tell you that I trust men 100% because I don't. I know what I see on the internet. And therein lies the problem. I already know this message isn't going to sit well with some people. I don't really give a heck. That's the whole point of my space. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this topic.
Where are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content? Front and center, please.
Hey, yes, she is me and I am she. I've dated a red pill podcast guy, and when I tell you it damn near destroyed me, it is a disastrous thing in our community, and we really need to talk about it. Dating a guy in the beginning, it was nice. He was sweet, he was kind, he was generous, everything like that. But then he started to become aggressive, and that concerned me because he wasn't physically aggressive, but he was verbally aggressive. The tones that he used with me would actually scare me. And I told him, I laid it out like, I've never been talked to aggressively by a man. I've never been in an abusive relationship. My daddy never even talked to me aggressively. So I'm not going to accept that. And he changed for a little bit, but then he started watching those podcasts, which he then told me that he was watching. I suggested that he stop watching a podcast, delete, curate his own social media, stop watching a podcast and get therapy, because he would say things like, you got to be aggressive towards women. That's the only way that they gonna respect you. And I'm like, no, like I respected you when I met you and you were kind and sweet as pie. Aggressiveness is scary for a woman, especially a big man using a negative tone towards a woman. That's terrifying. And he told me I got to delete all these red pill podcasts. He's like, I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just guys talking. I said, it's different types of podcasts. If they're not uplifting you, if they're telling you nothing but negativity, they're putting poison in your mind. If everything you see and hear is negativity, that's what you're going to see and feel. Negativity. You have to curate what you see in your life, especially being an older person. You need to know better. So I gave him 2 chances, and both chances he failed. And his thing also about dating an attractive woman. When we go out, I put myself on. I look good. I'm beautiful. I'm very charismatic, and that was what he loved about me. But watching the Red Pill podcast, his thing, he would make these weird statements about, oh, I know these men trying to talk to you and blah 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 blah. I know you be going out on dates and blah 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 blah. I'm working 3 hours away from home. And then he would say things like, oh, I know you probably messing with a dude down there, a woman as attractive as you. I know, like, these red pill podcasts would literally poison him and make him think that I'm a woman that I was not. Okay, ladies, if your men are watching a red pill podcast, break up with them. They need therapy. That's poison. They are experiencing traumatic events on a daily basis, and they don't even know. They're feeding their minds with poison, and they don't even know. Dealing with a man who watches red pill podcasts or even participated in that type of stuff is terrifying, is dangerous, and the relationship, when I tell you, it will age you. It will aid you mentally. It will aid you physically. It will stress you out, and it is not worth it. Leave that man alone, okay? Oh, and then he lied and said he was going to therapy, chat. Just leave him alone, chat. Just leave him alone. Y'all have a good day.
Here's some things I did to lose my man, so y'all don't be like me and lose your man. So I'm gonna give you what I was told that I did. I did not know what the hell we were always going to eat every day. I questioned his mama. I asked him about his trauma. I asked him where his daddy at. I shouldn't have did that. I told him, just because you spend money on me does not mean that I have to do everything that you say. I dress too sexy sometimes, and I would not change my outfit when he told me. I told him to work on himself. He said there was nothing wrong with him. I took him on a date to the gym. He was starting to get out of shape, but he said that was a rich nigga belly, and I have lost my mind. I never went through his phone. He said I must not give a fuck about him. I didn't want to move in. He said we should move together. I said I'm good. He said the reason I want to live by myself is so I can continue to have 3 or 4 activities and that I'm too hyper independent. So if you want to keep your man these days, you know, these guys have really high standards. You know, you're going to have to know what the fuck they're going to eat every day. You're going to have to move in and immediately start washing dishes and cleaning and shit. You can't be hyper independent, and they really don't want you dressing sexy and a whole bunch of other stuff. You guys, I could not keep this man. I tried so hard, you know. It's so unfortunate.
99% of men who fall for red pill content get hooked by the validation of their pain when no one else will validate it. The algorithm notices you are struggling with dating and serves you videos that perfectly match your feelings. But there's a dark side to this validation. These creators aren't just understanding you, they're exploiting your insecurities. The content gradually warps your reality, teaching you that you must be in the top 1% to find love, that women are shallow and manipulative, that dating is just purely transactional, and that you're fundamentally a low-value man. Being honest, I consumed this content for a short while. It was seductive on the outside, but here's what it actually did. It made me see women as stereotypes rather than individuals. It destroyed my ability to form genuine connections with people. It trapped me in constant shame about not being high value enough. It replaced real-world action with endless video consumption to validate this narrative. Meanwhile, look at actual happy couples around you. They don't fit these rigid standards. Real relationships are built on mutual respect, compatibility, and emotional intelligence, not dominance hierarchies. The alpha-beta framework is scientifically baseless to humans that even its original researcher tried to disprove it. If you're stuck in this red pill cycle, here's how you start to break free. 1. Recognize these algorithms are designed for engagement and not your happiness. 2. Diversify your content and seek different perspectives from other people. 3. Spend more time in the real world having actual interactions. 4. Find healthy male role models with respectful relationships to look up to. 5. Consider therapy to challenge unhealthy thought patterns. The ultimate irony is that the qualities that make you genuinely attractive are undermined by the very content claiming to help you. You deserve better than content that exploits your insecurities. And I'm not just saying this. The real red pill is recognizing how this content is manipulating you and choosing a different, healthier path.
Red pill guys blame women of hypergamy. What is your thoughts on that? I don't care what broke man think. Why would I care what a broke man think? Doesn't help me out. Okay. Why am I wasting my time thinking about what a broke man thinking about? I'm gonna be broke too if I start thinking like a broke man. What the heck? What are y'all doing? Why do y'all put so much emphasis on what a broke dude thinks? Y'all should be reading books on, you know, how to get this money. Why y'all worried about what a broke man thinks? I don't care what a broke man thinks, do you? Never have, never will. Waste of my time. Waste of your time. Why do women put so much emphasis on what the type of man that they don't want thinks? Are you going to consider all those things before you choose a man that's the opposite of that? No, because you shouldn't even be worried about it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. A lot of these red pill men are gay mentally. They're gay mentally. They may be sexually attracted to women, but they don't like women and they don't respect women and they don't know the value of a woman. They just want to lay down with one, not pay for one, not be responsible for one, not have the decency to want to provide for one in case they have a child. You know, a lot of those red pill dudes, they just send them a turkey. That's what y'all need to start sending when they have a P.O. box. And they say they accepting gifts and beard oil and whatnot. Just send them a turkey, because that's all they really want, an empty cavity. They don't want anything else. They want something cheap that they can afford. I'm serious. Like, just send them a good old nice turkey and say, may all your dreams come true. And then put sprinkle, sprinkle on there. You said with stuffing. Girl, they don't need the stuffing. They gonna be the stuffing. Girl, they know what do you not know what men want that turkey for? We're gonna have to educate y'all. They are going to be the stuffing to the turkey. Get it? All they want is an empty cavity.
I feel like the red pill community is an outlet for men who just can't get women or never have been able to get women, don't understand how women think. It's really just an outlet for you to feel hurt and for you to kind of vent your complaints or listen to other men's complaints about women. But the thing about it is, like, what the men who watch this and absorb this content don't realize is that you're not actually learning how to get the women that you want, if you do still even like women. Like, you're not, like, those guys are not teaching you. They're literally, actually, guys, are teaching you how to be the opposite of what the women that you really want. As a woman, I could tell you, like, I've been young before, and I talk to women all the time. They're teaching you everything that you're learning, the behaviors that you're learning from these guys is literally turning you into the exact opposite of what the women that you really want, that those fine women, those fine little young girls that y'all love, you're becoming the opposite of who they want. And see, y'all think that the reason why women don't like you is just because they're all running after the same guy. But women are attracted to men who love themselves, men who take care of themselves first. Men who are confident. I don't care what you look like naturally. Like, if you take care of yourself and a woman can tell that you taking care of yourself, you keep your hair lines up, you keep, your beard trimmed up or whatever, you take care of your body, you eat right, you smell good. That's another key right there, y'all. Smell it. Get you some nice, good cologne. Smell good. Smell sexy. A good smell will literally change your whole appearance to a woman. Okay, I've looked at men twice that I would never look at just because they smell good. Don't get that Ice Spice, that Old Spice stuff. Do not get that. Do not. That's not attractive. But if you focus on yourself, I'm telling y'all, men, especially the younger one, the older ones might know this, but the younger ones, especially y'all young men, like, women love a confident man who takes care of himself. Take care of your finances. Get your money right. When a woman can see that you pursuing your money and your career, she's going to want to be a part of your life, because women are attracted to men that who can provide. Women are attracted to resources. Like, it's just built in us. Like, whether if you think it's right or wrong, whether if you think we should or we shouldn't, it don't really matter. That's just how we're built. Just like y'all are hardwired to want sex, we're hardwired to want to be provided for. So if you can show a woman, like, I'm confident, I got my shit together, you either, if you can come, if you want to ride along with me, cool. But if not, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get my money and I'm going to do my thing. Women are going to be chasing after you, period.
Even if the red pill people were right all the time, it's the worst way to go about life. Can you imagine being that pessimistic? The only good thing about life, man, is really people. Like, loving people, interacting with people, meeting people, greeting people, hanging out with people, calling people, seeing people, doing things with people. That is what life is about. And these people are disregarding half of the population for what? Just because they've had poor experiences, really. I mean, but everyone has poor experiences. It's the fact that they let it manifest into like women's nature and how much they dislike them, instead of just changing in themselves what they need to change so that women will react differently to them. If you've ever done like a monk mode or a period of time where you just have no girls in your life and you've kind of isolated yourself, I mean, you understand how important people are, how important girls are, and I'd much rather have to deal with the occasional heartache or heartbreak than not have any of the joy of that in my life at all. And for them to write off women like that, red pill, black pill, sad, really sad.
The women get upset because they can no longer benefit from this puppet that they've created. Now these women online talking about, I lost my man to Red Pill podcast and shit. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Somebody online finally told him, bro, what you going through, a lot of men are going through. We just don't sit around in circles and cry about it to other men. And this is how you fix it. And in the midst of them fixing it, you got your ass bounced. All that's happening.
I can't help but agree with my boy John. Most of the men who go to red pill content, I have fell victim of it years ago. Most of them, it's dealing with, no successful women, struggling to understand women, men in relationships. And most of the men who see that type of content, they didn't lose a man. I think most of the time, red pill definitely has a certain audience and group of people behind it. I can't get behind, but when it comes to most of the stuff that is being told about, it's pretty true. At least in regards to most, like what John said, a lot of the men, the puppets they created, and I'm not saying this in like a very passionate, angry way, but it's very true. A lot of men will do what their woman says, and that's, of course you want to compromise, but most of the time it's a dictatorship. Not all, but a good majority of relationships. It pretty much calls out all the BS that goes on in relationships. And again, not all. So they didn't really lose their man. It's just they lost control. The same control that they had before until the red pill content straightened them up to be like, I'm not going to go for this. Because like I said, most of the time in the situation where the man is I don't say obviously lesser, because I think every relationship is different. But where the woman takes control because of a sense of manipulation, then he'll eventually see that all the stuff that she kind of puts out is bull. But yeah, this is not like hate, but I know most of the time the men go through this stuff. I've seen it firsthand, and they be miserable, and that's just because they just didn't know. And red pill content reveals a lot of stuff that they should not tolerate. Like I said, this is not apply to every people, every person, every relationship, but there are some relationships that is flat out evil, and the red pill saves some men.
Red pill guys blame women of hypergamy. What is your thoughts on that? I don't care what broke man think. Why would I care what a broke man think? Doesn't help me out. Okay. Why am I wasting my time thinking about what a broke man thinking about? I'm gonna be broke too if I start thinking like a broke man. The heck, what are y'all doing? Why do y'all put so much emphasis on what a broke dude thinks? Y'all should be reading books on, how to get this money. Why y'all worried about what a broke man thinks? I don't care what a broke man thinks, do you? Never have, never will. Waste of my time. Waste of your time. Why do women put so much emphasis on what the type of man that they don't want thinks? Are you going to consider all those things before you choose a man that's the opposite of that? No, because you shouldn't even be worried about it. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Red pill and self-improvement for men has genuinely become out of hand. And I've always wanted to refrain from making content like this and bringing other men down. But I think it's time to actually speak up, because this is just unacceptable. I found 0 women who are worthy of marriage. There's lots of women who are great and you can have an amazing time with them. But I wouldn't get into a monogamous relationship with almost any of them, to be honest. You get the best experience when you're in a situationship with them instead of a proper relationship. It then goes on to say that's when they want you badly. They fuck your brains out. You have amazing romantic experiences like a fairy tale, but with none of the cost of a committed relationship. You know you're a winner when your only problem in dating is that too many girls want to fuck you and it's a time management issue. When that happens, you won't even consider a relationship because you're getting the best experience already. It then continues with more rubbish, and at the end of the post, there's a link to a course which men can join for a monthly fee. What I just read is a post from Hamza, who claims to be the Netflix of self-improvement for men. He makes men feel worse and then convinces them to join his course as the only saviour to their lives. He has a following of over 2 million people, and viewpoints like this, they just can't carry on. As a man with a few brain cells, I'd like to personally think brainwashing and deluding other young men into these viewpoints is actually stupid and dangerous. And the only way to prevent other men being influenced is to just start having a conversation and speaking up about this. Like, you need to learn how to think. If you know Hamza, you'll know his opinions change based on what day of the week it is. But having this many people following him, it's worrying. This red pill culture is not healthy for men and is only making us more degenerate. Talking about, you're a winner when your only problem in dating is that too many girls want to fuck you and your brain's out. Like, really? Is this what we as men have succumbed to? Success is about being in situationships. That is completely wrong, and for any man watching this, there is success in monogamy. There is success in being loyal and faithful to a single woman. How can you be preaching self-improvement to men but screaming about hedonistic pursuits? In a world where relationships can be difficult to come by, there is honour in having a family unit you can build and grow with. Stop letting these red pill loser influencers make you feel like you have no value and then sell you a course which they lead you to think is the only way for you to get better. That is literally what he does and what red pill is about. Red pill seduces you into thinking it's the space that cares and understands for you. It doesn't. It's just there to profit off you. Start learning how to actually think for yourself as a man, and let's stop allowing people like this to gain attention, please.
Not many people like to talk about this, but I genuinely feel like red pill is the most stupidest thing out here. Like, just because you can't get any girls doesn't mean you gotta resort to hating women and end up being a misogynist. Like, that shit makes no sense. Like, are you just trying to validate your own feelings by saying that, oh, you're not the problem and that they are? Like, bro, that is the most pussiest shit that you could possibly do. And if you ever are into red pill, bro, you're specifically the problem. Because now you're giving a whole toxic narrative around social media and constantly pushing it onto other people in real life. And this is why this shit is so corrupt. Because now people can't trust each other and they resort to toxicity because they feel like it's the only way to have a relationship. Like, imagine telling yourself, I hate women. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's some weird ass shit. Like, you do realize that your mother gave birth to you, right? You wouldn't be here because of her? What the fuck? Or just because a girl hurt you that badly doesn't mean that you gotta put it out onto other girls, thinking that they're gonna be the same way like that one girl that did you wrong. Just because you play this bad boy persona doesn't mean you're gonna attract more girls. Like, that's gonna grotesque your attraction to them even more, which keeps you at a constant cycle of you thinking that they're the problem and you're not, when in reality you're just absolutely fucking delusional.
That's it, guys. Women sharing their experiences on how they lost their guys or their men due to red pill content. You've seen in another video whereby this lady was telling us she doesn't care at all, as long as that guy knows how to take care of himself. He's smelling good. You need to smell good, actually. You need to smell good, you need to look nice, dress nice, smell good, and above all, be confident. Women need men or guys who are actually confident. So guys, thank you so much. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section on women sharing their views on how they lost their men or their guys due to red pill content. And bye bye for now.